Hello all, welcome to another video with Mary's Free. How you all doing today? Today is May 17, 2021. Yeah, still in the storm. Must be peace still in the storm. Must be the peace that stills the storm until we get to a place where there's no storm and we be the peace that have no storm, reflecting our Creator. To the Hindu, Brahmin, Creator, the universal Creator. The Sikh should be peace that have no storm. To the Buddhist, energy they relate with. I'm just giving little information of every religion, okay? Of the Buddhist, energy they relate to. Are we seeking for positive energy, peace that have no storm, that there's no conflict? Because positive and negative attract and they begin to enable collisions. That even when we express of yin and yang, expecting positive and negative to be of a balance, we begin to realize that negative grows and positive grows and can be an imbalance. And that even we go to the beginning, there must have been positive before negative. And we're looking for a place where there is no negativity. Okay? Where there is a balance, there is no negativity and there is no storm. Now a negative is like a storm. There is no need for a negative. We may say it's only a storm when the negative is more than the positive. Negative should never be more than positive. Negative should never be more than positive. It's a disability. That we need a balance of it. Making the negative being present in the place of positive. It's a difficult understanding. Of the beginning, only positive existing. Cannot be positive and negative existing together because there must be a construction that you're trying to destroy. Even to that list of construction before negativity, destruction should be enabled. Are we looking for that peace that have no storm? Because just the sight of storm or a negative alone brings anxiety, and there is possibility of another disruption. Out of the experience we've had gives us this. I hope we can relate. And please, if you have any comments or argument or contribution, please comment and let's address it, because this is the purpose of having videos, of having a communication medium that we can all relate to, of the whole world. We can all come together and relate and try to express so we get to a place of peace that have no storm. We seek, knowing that the physical is only a list of us, and we living the physical to the other side, to a different state of being, should only be better off, because we're only getting higher, and getting higher is much more of speed. It's much more of speed. We get to do things faster than of the most simplest state that we are of a physical being. Even though of the physical being, we have not been able to really assimilate how much we really need, and trying to get into the other states are really in a complication and a struggle, and why we have more of mental situations going on today than of previous. Okay? Sometimes it looks like than the previous, but it could be the same, but it's just that we are built for this time to be able to handle this, but it is much more complicated. Okay, of a baby state to the state where we are right now. Like I said, showed in the other video, that is like being in college from kindergarten. But neither are babies small. They all have an information that we may not have. Okay, and even though the Bible, we had Bible before, we think that we have everything of a baby, but we forget. So they have some information that we don't have that we really need. And that and now to see that every being is very important, and every message is very important for us to take, assimilate gracefully of peace during a storm, and not a storm on a storm. Let us nurture everyone with grace and mercy, caring. We judge to edify and not condemn, please. Because if we look onto our origin, where we come from, we can remember what it was like. But of the activities that we do, we begin to realize that, hey, a stable ground is what we need. And to have a stable ground is peace that have no storm. We need not be causing afflictions. We need not have a negative. Even of a place where a negative and positive balance of the one of the other, being able to shut the other down, is a positive and negative together. Of the one that is shut down is the one that is having the peace, and the one that is able to shut down is to push the other one down is the one with the storm. Now we begin to put those together of that sort. We begin to realize that, hey, positive and negative cannot balance, or it's not enough balancing. Okay, it's limited. We need to go further, seeking for peace that have no storm. Therefore, no religion is wrong, but only short. We all have our own disabilities, that we're seeking peace that have no storm. And to understand of the Abrahamic, we understand of the Abrahamic, the seeking for one God, like the Brahmin, a God of universe, the universal God. But this God is a God that seeks for peace and justice of its own, to become of justice and peace. Okay, by revenge, vengeance, a God of vengeance, a God who seeks peace for his own. And we still see like the yin and yang of positive and negative, punishment to enable positivity and all that, balancing. We begin to realize that, hey, if we could get to a place where we don't have punishment, of everyone of self-will, being able to be of will positive, there will be no need for punishment or repellence or or or, or disagreements or storm. Okay, and then now we begin to realize that even of the African religion, seeking for the spirituality of peace, of harmony, okay, of healing, okay, and being of optimum, okay, seeking the ancestors, is only for good, and the good is what is the God of us, of peace that have no storm, that we all can achieve from each other according to the states. That of solid, we seek it out of those in the liquid, and from those in the liquid, from those that get in the gaseous state. The gaseous state, the better state. It looks more of like the baby state, but that's our origin, and that's where we return to. Being the physical, begin to look at the origin like it's a baby state, but that is the real original us. There's a disorientation, mental problem we have of seeing the physical more of like the original of how long we've been in there. Instead, it's the baby state. But here we are still able to have some information that we're able to heal with. And it is a negative, which is not it's a complicated right that we are trying to correct back to the correct right. It's an information, but too complicated that we don't want to deal with it. And we don't want those negation states to be able to have it, right? Like the baby state, right? And we're returning back to the origin, which is the peace that have no storm. Of a baby that we have in the fall is more complicated, but they are getting reorientated. There's a piece of information that they have of the origin, and with the complication that they have of the physical, you can imagine how hurting the baby stages of a human being or of the physical, being mixed of the two and trying to find yourself, yet still with an information very worthy of the origin. But because of the newness of a complication, is very disruptive to focus and put yourself together. I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to explain of the mind, the mentality of our being according to the stages of development, of human development and every being development. And so, um, looking at this and considering the topic that we had previously of body, mind, and soul, because of talking about spirituality. Spirituality is like a backbone of our being. Okay, spirituality is like a backbone of our being. Why am I saying this? Is because I consider the mind the spirit, and I hope we get to really understand. I know others may have a different view of which one is which, but according to my understanding and experience and of acquired knowledge, I come to understand that the mind is us and is the spirit and is the character. Like I said, the video will be the one character. We have only one character, and it is the peace that have no storm. And that's the true mind, and that's the true spirit, and that's the true us, and that's the one character that we have of the origin where we come from. Our creator of all the beings was peace that have no storm, is able to construct. And now the destruction. Now, why is that? Why is there destruction? Why are we wanting some destruction? Is it that the God didn't create everything right? Now we have to get to this explanation today of after understanding that spirituality is trying to get connected with a greater being out there, and that's going back to us, to the origin of our creator, knowing that a spiritual person is one who is seeking love of self and others, and that this is all about peace that have no storm. We are seeking that again, right? After that destruction. And then of the five characteristics, so we had to also talk about the five characteristics of spirituality, and which are the meaning, the value, the transcendence, the connecting and becoming. Why do we talk about these characteristics without knowing us? And spirituality, understanding of all religions, come back to us like an individual. Who are we? Why are we individuals? And why do we think sometimes differently? Okay, and we are alike of some things but differently. Our disabilities are a little bit different from each other, so we are getting there to after understanding that we are of different states. And now of humans, why are some humans, why are some lesser than others? Okay, of these three different states, why is there ice, and why is liquid and gas up there and we solid down here? What's the point? And this video is is a simplicity of all enabling, so that we all can relate, that even those that are of greater minds can be able to relate with those of atheists and those that who don't believe in any other existence except this present, and of those that even know that there is an advancement but are scared. They have anxiety of continuing the journey because of the interruptions they've had concerning their personality, relating with instead the states, thinking is their being. Okay, they need to be able to understand that we are a mind and not the flesh. Okay, we are the mind and not only the flesh. That the flesh is only a covering, like a coat. It's us. It represents us. Wherever you see my shirt, you know it's marriage, right? And then you'll be looking for me. So when you see my body, you're looking for me. I'm the mind. So what do I present? I'm the spirit, the mind. What do I present? There's a struggle. I'm trying to get myself. Why am I disabled in my mind? Why am I not being able to understand who I am? Why is my spirit not understanding who they are? Okay, I am the spirit being. I have a comma. I'm trying to get back to reorientation of who I am. So why? What happened? Did I fall? Why did I fall when I come from a higher being who's supposed to be able to support me? Okay, you created me, you should be able to support me. Why did I fall? Now it's a matter of understanding of self-will, because we realize we have self-will. In this being, we know we have self, we're able to stand for ourselves. So, this creator created us with the self-will of being able to approach ourselves back to right. Okay, but they have power to create us. A universe is able to create us, but we are the ones to take care of ourselves. And we taking care of ourselves is taking care of this world, of taking care of a universe, right? That of the earth is limited, that we take care of the earth. We walk the earth, we take care of the earth. Okay, and then we give back to the earth, and even though the earth made a physical being, we are still able to take care of the earth. And not only the physical being takes care of the earth, but the mind is greater than the physical earth, so the mind takes care of the earth. So I hope we understand it, that the physical is very limited to express what is in the is of us, of the universe, the spiritual universe of us, right? Like when they say soul, what does soul mean, and what does the body mean? That of a lake, you hear of an ocean. A lake is still water. It's all water. But now, when a lake is a smaller piece of the ocean, so the soul is a smaller piece of a spirit being, the spirit realm, right? The spirit realm is like the ocean. So a soul is just like a portion of the ocean put on the side that still have the same water, the spirit, the mind, the same mind in that soul is the same mind that is of the ocean, the spirit realm. This is my understanding of a simple point of view of those that are made better than I, of more of the mind of higher minds, okay, of higher capability, is a gift, okay, and this is my own gift of simplicity to enable us of lost, of being scared to travel, okay, this journey. If you have just one eye, we should be able to travel this journey. If you have just only you have no eye, if you're blind, we can still travel this road, okay, by being able to understand this simplicity of us. Okay, we are the mind. You can never be totally blind, because the mind always have the self-will is always there. Okay, the self-will is always there to be able to see through. Okay, your self-will is your worth, and you have to be able to gain this worth, your self-will, your purpose of being in a place of disorientation. And now you have to understand who you are. That of these three that I enabled made us to understand, of the body, soul and mind. The body like the eyes, the soul like the liquid, and the mind like the gas, the gaseous state, makes us understand that these are three different states. So when you call the soul when you call the soul a spirit realm, you could disrupt some others. Okay, you could understand what you're saying, but some others could be disrupted of their simplicity of knowing just the body, thinking that when they see a soul, it's another another spirit, it's another being. Okay, but of which it is only a body. I hope you understand. Like water, when they see a lake, when they see a lake, they think it's another ocean, but it's only a little body of the ocean. Okay, the soul is only a little body of the ocean. The ocean is the mind. We are the mind. I hope we are trying to understand where I'm going to this journey. Please, it's a matter of motivation and and inspiring us of this journey, so that we can keep traveling. Of those that are stuck, of those that are scared to travel, they don't want to continue. They just looking for other means to just be be stable with what they have. It's not enough, because we all have to get to that hole to be able to be complete. That if all of us go there and even one is left behind, it's not enough. It's not sufficient, because we will not be able to enable all of us being a stable atom. Like I was trying to use like chemistry of a cell being made of electrons, an atom being made of electrons. If you lose one electron, like sodium has 11 electrons. If you lose one, you're with 10. It's not stable, right? We need one. Sorry, right. Okay, sodium has 11 electrons. If you lose one, it's 10, and then you are not stable. You need that one back. You need to be complete, and if and you have to look for a means to be able to enable that one. That if even though the one may be there and you have to lose it, and when you lose it, you become a it's not complete because it's meant to have 11 electrons. We need to have it all back whole. That our whole is 8 electrons on one shell, right? And that's what we'll be seeking for, the 8 completion. So we're looking for, so we will always try to like do some equation and make sure that and enable them to get balance of some sort, and explaining why one is missing and gone to the other side and all that, and it carries a negative energy. So a positive energy or negative energy. So what are we looking for? Is to tell us that one electron is missing. So with how do we balance? It's not complete, even though it had to lose it because it was not stable. So what am I going to with this? Some are up there gaseous and some of it down here solid. We need to become one. We need a completion. We need to be whole. Okay, we need to be whole. We need to return back to our origin, the atom, the cell. There's the cell where we belong. We need to return back to it, and all of us have to go back to it to represent the real state of us. Okay, so we don't want to have one lost. Okay, so now the character, our character. We have talked about our person of 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 who we are, of body, mind, of body, soul, and mind. So now, if we are body, soul, and mind, and a character is why are we here? Is because of our character. Okay, our character is the mind. Okay, our character is the mind. So after understanding that we are of self, body, mind, and after we understood that we are a body, soul, and mind, we know that the mind is us. So you have a body and a soul, and the mind is us. So the mind is of the body and of the soul, connects the body and the soul. So the mind is the water of the body, the smallest piece of water, like a pond, and the mind like a lake, right? So the bigger body, the smallest, the limited body is the limited of us is the body, and then the greater of us is the soul, and the greatest is the gaseous state, like the spirit realm is. Okay, of the spirit realm is comprised of a body spirit. You have a soul spirit, and then you have the, the 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 mind spirit, which is the spirit. The mind is the spirit, and that's the ocean that we're returning to. Okay, so our universe, our God created us. Like I explained of Brahmin, of the Indian, of the Hindu will say Brahmin is the creator God. Like I explained of that of the previous video, that we all come from Brahmin according to the according to the Hindu, and then according to the the Buddhist, according to the Buddhist, we come from energy, and energy, there's positive and negative energy. We are trying to become positive again. Okay, that even when we hear of yin and yang, being a balance, we understand that you need positive and negative to balance up to make a whole. But we know that that is limited to the point where we know that negative is not supposed to exist, because just the side of negative only gives us anxiety, and some of us repel. Okay, so it means that we're looking for a place where there is no negative. So it's not wrong, but only limited. That when you get to that place of understanding yin and yang and balancing positive and negative, you begin to be scared that what if negative comes to happen again? You have that anxiety of always worried, of being worried, and that will be anxiety. So what we really are looking for is greater than that, which is peace that have no storm. That when we have no storm, we'll not be able to be worried any longer, right? We don't want to be healed halfway. We want to be able to heal complete. Okay? We're looking for our whole. So this is what I understand of these two religions, and also of the Abrahamic the Abrahamic religion of one God, of the Jews and the Islam and Christianity and Christians. We realize that they're after one God, and the one God is a God of revenge. Okay, it's a God that loves peace, but he gets peace like with revenge in the name of wrath, of like punishing those that have done wrong, and getting them back to right needs some affliction. And we begin to realize that, hey, that still goes with yin and yang of needing to correct a mistake in order to get something positive, and that is, you must balance it up, right? You must balance up when you correct them with how much affliction will enable them to achieve the right the, the right morale that you expect. This is what we understand of this God, that even of the African tradition, the African religion, we understand that their spirituality also have to do with also the same kind of yin and yang, which is of peace and revenge and punishing those who do harm unto others, so they can repent and correct themselves, looking for harmony in a way of revenge. The same way of the same process, which leads us to a half, and the halfway we need to complete a whole, because with this negative we're always so worried and scared, and sometimes it goes after the people that are not supposed to be hurt, and this is because of anxiety and misunderstanding. Okay, and punishment on crime, and so it's the matter of seeking for a place of peace that have no storm, that all sins are, all among wrongdoings are supposed to say wrongdoings or complicated right are supposed to be corrected back to right that have no storm. Okay, this is what we understand. We don't need a battlefield. We don't need an anxiety to be existing of what if. We're looking for a place that have only peace, that have no storm, that even of the Western religion, the Western world, also of the same they are gods, punishable gods that are the punish of sin and of wrongdoing. They say wrongdoing is a complicated, to me, and now wrongdoing is a complicated right, because you only get it right only after you've gone through some difficulties. Okay, and that should be of self and not of someone afflicting you. Okay, that your punishment should come of self, which is you feeling have remorsing. Okay, that should be the only way for you to get back right. That if you don't like remorsing of self, you are able to avoid it. Okay, of someone not being the one to be afflicting you, and even when they're not supposed to afflict you, we could start some situation that will lead to you wanting to revenge, and then their war starts and start spreading, and it begins to add on to others adding onto it. Okay, I hope we understand that the end is the universal of peace that have no storm that we seek. Okay, God should have no storm. He's a God of construction. And then why is there destruction? This is why we're talking again about character. Okay, character is us. All right, character is us. Like if we understand of our best, that 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 becoming a word. Okay, we create words like our God created us. We create words. How do we create words and into actions? It's of the mind. The mind have thoughts. The thoughts become words, and the words become action. Okay, and then when it becomes action, the action now we assimilate it back into the mind of words, and then back into thoughts. Okay, if someone is dancing, we have the word dancing, the action dancing, and then it goes back into the mind of thoughts of dancing. We assimilate it dancing. So now it gives us again another three state of being, of action being like of solid, and then the word being more of like a liquid, and then of the thoughts becoming like gas. So we still see like stages of three stages of returning back to the right. Okay, and now of these three stages, now we realize that, okay, there's a reason why we get down to become a solid that we don't like, because it's limited, And this is where we have a struggle, and it has to do with actions, right? Actions, like I said, the action is more of a physical, of a solid, okay? And that relates with us humans. Okay, I'm trying to relate, trying to get for the characteristics of personality that I said transcendence is concrete to abstract. Okay, so of these five characteristics we begin to understand what is going on. Why are we humans? Why are we here? Okay, we're trying to get this concrete into the abstract. Okay, we're trying to lift from solid to the gaseous state where we belong. But if we have to get there, we have to be of the right mind, of not falling back. So the right mind now is us, the peace that have no storm. Okay, that if we're disrupted, that enable us to fall is because of an action that is complicated, that we need to correct, of the mind. Okay, there is a storm. And what is that storm? What is that storm? Okay, the storm of a battlefield. Okay, it's a struggle. At so what is this struggle? Okay, the struggle down is between good and what we call evil. Okay, good is us. Okay, we are a being, and the being is we are a being, and the being is power, and the power is the mind. Okay, and the mind is peace that have no storm. That is power. Peace that have no storm is the power. There is so much disruption. That's why we are so really confused out here. We use feast like it's power. When we use power like feasting someone, we think negative now is power. No, negative is not power. Okay, character is our topic today. I want us to really try to focus, because I'm really trying to get to this simplicity for us to really get to understand a little bit of 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 who we are, so we can be able to travel this road gracefully. Okay, we can be able to tackle this road gracefully, knowing our purpose. Okay, we are in the battlefield. Why are we having a battlefield? We are a character. Why are we in a fall? Why is there a negative? Okay, why are we in a solid state that is limited? Okay, like I said, we are good. The good is us. Now, the negative is due to I'm sorry. It's a disrupted action. Okay, and the negative is a disrupted action of our being. Okay, um, we are good when the good character is us. Evil action, there's evil action. Okay, evil is an action and not a character. Okay, and whatever we call bad character does not exist, but only bad actions. And bad action is the complicated actions of the good. Okay, it's only a contamination. It's only a disruption of the good. And when the good gets disrupted, it gets into pieces, and the pieces are now the actions, right? And we need to get them back right by correcting, by enabling that complicated action to get back to its right position. Okay, a piece of us is out, an atom, an electron is out, disrupts the whole group, and so we have to get that one back to right. We all cannot come out of the atom to come and get that one out. Okay, there is a matter of the one that has gone down has to get back up by reorientation, by a form of attraction, and that is of correcting self, of self will, and it's self to correct self back. The character, there is one character disrupted of action. Okay, the character is, we are of three stages, complicated in progress. A whole good. We are a whole good. And why is there a complication? Is because we are trying to find our being. We are trying to understand our purpose. This creator of us know their self, and that's why they created us, right? Of self will. They already found themselves and know themselves. Brahim knows the self. I won't say him or she, because I cannot relate with a man or a woman, but Brahim knows the self. Okay, energy positive knows self. Okay, and then God knows self. Okay, we say he because of humans. We know we give he because of the power that we use, which is not it's only a symbol that expresses the mind, but like it's a force, right? We call it a force, but the mind is peace that have no storm. Okay, what is a force? It's only like backup of the mind. Okay, it's only like a backup of the mind. The more good the mind does, that's the power of the mind. Then the negative, that is weakness. Okay, it's weakness, and we're trying to correct this weakness to power. And the weakness now of our being, of spirituality, of us, the mind, the spirit being born out of the universe. The universe is of the mind, the ocean. Okay, us all together. The disruption is knowing ourselves. Okay, if why are we not able to know ourselves? Why have some not been able to come down into the fall? You will ask, why have some not been able to come down to the fall? Only some have been able to come down to the fall, right? Of those first made have been able to come down to the fall. Okay, because they were the first made and have to be able to know their personality. They have to know who they are, of their self-will. It took a while to be able to find themselves. Okay, now the creator knows us, and we are born, and we are trying to know our identity of who are we, who are you, the creator has to enable us to know ourselves. And with self-will, we also have a part to play to understand what the creator is enabling us to understand, and that is where our weakness is, our trying to get to understand. So are we on the fault? If we are not being able to understand ourselves, the lower we become, the more lower we become of a fall. Okay, if we are not able to understand ourselves, the more we fall, the more we keep going down until we are able to find ourselves, then we start going back up. Okay, now you say that, okay, but some in the spirit realm are more disorientated than us of the physical realm. We only understand that because of our limited state. Okay, that when you become of gas, you begin to see like, hey, where is the strength that this one had, that it was all over me? Okay, it is of the state that we are now that limits us. Okay, of the weakness of the mind. The mind first have a weakness, and that's what we're trying to strengthen, of the disability now of different states. Of the most limited state, we begin to feel like the power of the one of the liquid is of the liquid state, of the soul state, of the spirit state, are more on us, because now we face a two of a limited self, of a limited self of the mind, and also of the lower state. Okay, we begin to feel more pressure on us. I I hope I tried to make something out of this, because this is the first video I'm trying to explain this. I bet in the in next videos we'll be able to get this. I'm not saying this like I had read it somewhere, or I tried to put it down, but right now I'm speaking. I'm bringing more understanding that I didn't write down of this. I didn't prepare this. It's amazing how it's really putting itself, it's shaping itself up, because I know that of this mind, it's not only one mind that speaks. Many minds speak in the mind, that I can't even really, I can't say I know everything, because I came into this world a baby. Okay, babbling, and I get to start speaking and walk. And how I get to do this is many contribution. We all contribute, and even you contribute by listening and relating, and you will always find something that we relate with. That's the important thing about all videos. Okay, some things may not relate, but we only judge to edify. Okay, but please comment and let's talk more, because the more we talk, together, the more we communicate, the more we remember. Because we come from an origin of peace that have no storm. The more we communicate, the more we remember. This little explanation I've given is not like it's exactly what I saw. Maybe I've gone updates. No, this is just of the mind of how we relate with the physical, the present, my experience, my knowledge acquired, okay, and school, my experience and knowledge acquired. That's just all what I'm bringing to you, so that we can walk this forward, because someone has to start somewhere. We have to be able to, the little that you have, bring it in. That even when a baby babbles, I tell you, it brings life in the room, even though no one understands. Okay, if this is babbling to you, I only hope that it brings life in the room, that someone is willing to be of a positive, okay, of peace in the storm. All right. So please, let's get to communicate more. And next video is still going to be on this topic of character. Okay. Of between good and evil. Okay. Evil. I'm so sorry that we call it evil. I don't like, I try not to use the word good and evil, because it's like giving evil power, of which evil is only an action of a character. Okay. Like it is, I read from the quote, of Sir F. Scott Fitzgerald, who says action is character, right? Action is character, right? Because action is a piece of character. Just like how we are a part of our God, we are God. You know what I mean? That we have to reflect our God. Our God is peace that have no storm. Okay, what does that mean? It means that that's what we have to reflect. That when we are disorientated, we have to try to return back, to that state of understanding. Oh, now I know who I am, and now Father also saying that I know who I am, and we also say I know who I am. When Father say I know who I am, I'm your creator. You say I know who I am, I'm your son. Now we relate, right? Action is character, is what I understand when we say action is character. I am God does not mean that I am the creator, but I'm reflecting the Father. Okay, action is a piece of character, because even of um even of the Christian religion, they even say that that word makes action, action makes word makes action, action makes habit, habit makes character, builds character. You know what I mean? So now it will depend on how you're building, of not of disability, of lesser disability. Because of more disability, the more complicated your good is gonna be. The more complicated you will be, the more complicated your mind. Your mind is you. The more complicated your water, and you're of lesser, because you're disrupted of your character, your mind, yourself, and also of your state. In a limited state and more disrupted, that is a lot of complication. Okay. And then I also read of Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha also have a quote that he wrote. He said, like he said, says, be more concerned with your character, that your reputation becomes your character, is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. Says, be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. Okay, even though he says this, what really draws my attention here is that he says you are your character, and I was like, whoa, it makes it. I relate with it. Okay, and I was like, that could, you see, we have something that we all relate with, but now saying that your reputation is what others think about you, your character should be able to reflect your reputation. You know what I mean? That those that are thinking your reputation differently from your character are still getting there, are still getting to the place of understanding who you are. Okay, they are only disorientated of who you are. Okay, seeing you and thinking you're Mary when you're John is only a misunderstanding of your reputation. Okay, that your character is showing. All right, until they get to understand my reputation, then we must relate with my character. Then I will know that they know my character by the reputation. Reputation is like a reflection of you, right? That what they reflect of you, that you're showing, if they don't reflect well, they have to be working on it until they get to understand your reputation. Then they have understood your character, they've understood you, right? You are your character. You understand my character by my reputation, by my reflection, by what you see, right? To understand me. I hope we understand. Talk about the mind is a little bit, a little bit on the other side, because we are in a lower state. Okay, that does not really express the mind of who the mind is. The mind is peace that have no storm. The little complication is a little bit more complicated to explain it. But if we get to understand bit by bit, we'll really be sound of the mind, who we are. I'm trying to explain this off without using God, creator, like, having a way of looking at our ultimate, that we're going to peace that have no storm. Okay, when we were able to understand this, not using those images that we've been using that have disrupted that, some are not able to walk the road of God again, because, oh my goodness, you'll not believe what God, when I say God, I just get a slap because of the God that I've been following. You will not believe. You know what I mean? So when you say peace that have no storm, why would that God slap you if he knows his peace that have no storm? You know what I mean? Knowing that peace, you have no storm, no affliction, no triggers. So you can travel this road peacefully, gracefully. The best is what we're looking for. Please, of the mind, peace during the storm, back to peace that have no storm. I hope this video will make some sense. With time, I will communicate about it. I could even be more sound, excuse me, about this in the next video. Okay, and I wish you all a blessed day, and that we sit and think about the little that we've had. It sounds so silly what I'm saying, because it's like babbling. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the most simplest way of looking at the mind and where we are going, of the best that I can. So I hope we can relate with this, and while we travel this journey, to at least be able to understand a little bit where I'm going to. Okay, be you an atheist, or one who doesn't know God, and one who doesn't want to know about afterlife. Okay, how we can relate with our mind of advancing to a greater of self, of peace that have no storm, is first of all seeing our reflection of peace that have no storm, that we can tell who Father is, we can tell who our Creator is. Then from there, we can now know who we're pointing to be our Father, so we make no mistake out there and we falling in some dungeon, in some holes that we thought it was. But you know what I mean? Now, knowing having the right picture in your hand after putting the puzzle, you are able to know who your Father is, right? Hallelujah. I pray we understand the word. Okay. The mind, the battlefield has to heal. Be still the storm, royalties. We are all advancing to Father of the mind. We are seeking for the picture of Father. Peace still the storm. Okay. Father is peace that have no storm. Our origin of where we come from. We have to return back. We should be returning back to that one. Okay, if we know there's an other life, we should be returning back to that one, not entering other lives before we go to that one. Okay, of some have been able to make lives out of, like out of, you know, disruptions of this, following the stages, jumping from a pond to hot water, because you see a pond, you just want to jump into it. Oh, it's hot water. You're jumping out of it like, hey, I thought it was just water, and you want to jump in another one. Oh boy, it's like ice. You're like, oh, whoa, it's hot. How come that one is hot when it's cold at first, and then it's so hot? Which one is which one? Like, there's so many out here of states that we have, that we're looking for the right state. Gaseous state is us, the mind. But now we're looking for the mind that is peace that have no storm. That even in the gaseous state, it's so flexible that if you are disorientated, it's another complication of how fast it goes. Of the list of all state is slower, but there you're so limited there. So you have to really be able to be in the right place of the mind in order to really travel this road. It's what we seek for first. Have the picture in your hand. Your end goal should be in your hand before you start your journey, right? Stay blessed, royalties. Okay? Thank you for watching.